it's Andre and it's time for an update. Actually, I haven't flown in like 2 weeks. Between the cold and the weather, it's just been ugh. So, I'm looking forward to getting out there and doing some line of sight flying this weekend. Both the Bixler and the Wraith are not ready for FPV. I've been doing some work on them. On the Wraith, I'm updating the ECU locations, shortening up the wiring harness, and I've got some folding props finally. They came in. On the right-hand motor, that unfortunately has had a bent shaft, which I'm trying to straighten out. It's coming along. I'm just taking my time doing it. Eventually I will just buy another motor, but I hope to be able to roll it and just tap it out. It's gotten better and better, but because the way the prop adapter sits, it pushed the vibration out, so the motor is really bouncy. Other than that, the Wraith is going to be back in the air very soon and should be quite nice. The idea behind the ECU location change is not going to land in the snow, and I'm less likely to get those components wet. The only negative right now is I haven't been able to relocate the servos, and I kind of wish I'd flipped them over. But yeah, hindsight's 20/20. On the Bixler, the FatShark camera got fried when I had an ECU meltdown. Sorry, an OSD wiring harness meltdown. That was a mess. I've actually contacted FatShark and they told me they were liquidating the Pilot HD version 1 because version 2 is now coming out. So for $15 US, I picked up a whole other camera, and then $5 I picked up the module because the camera actually is in like 2 modules that had fried. So for between shipping and everything for like $33 Canadian, 28 American, I'm actually going to get that camera back up and running. Not the greatest camera in the world, but it fits on the gimbal, which I fly with on the Bixler. And I'll have the second one, which then it takes an SD card and records decent audio, decent video. So I'm excited just to have that, you know, aerial capability back up. The wing cam is back alive. It's somewhere. I passed it back to my dad and he had looked again. That it crashed or been on a crash with the Wraith and had started acting up, but I think we got it back up and running. This is the $17 CMOS camera I picked up from Banggood, and this is going to go on to all my simple FPV applications. So on the T28, on my little FT Mini once I get that done, and of course my quad. And the reason for that is, as you see in the video coming off the OSD, the text is extremely faint, and this is to do with the line level coming out of the camera being too high. I tried, as I said, to drop the line level down, but the video and sync are mixed together off the board, and once I put a bit of resistance in there, I crash the sync. And basically that makes the video unstable and you can't actually broadcast with it. So, great camera for $17. I'm impressed with the size and the durability, and again, like I said, it's going to be the prime piece of equipment for the quad. This is a little Sony camera picked up from Surveillance Zone, and it is tiny. $35, has a little OSD control that allows me to actually go in there and program the camera to identify. It's a security camera, but you can already see the difference. It's actually quite bright, which is going to be fascinating outdoors to see how it responds. I'm looking through my goggles. It is quite nice on the goggles. It looks nice and clean on the, I can read all the OSD a lot better than I could with the other setup. So this is the one I'm going to actually be running on the Wraith. I'm going to remove that little stand over here, and we're going to put that on that plane, and that will have that all solution all taken care of for the winter. You can get a little 2.1 mil lens, which will give you a slightly wider view, but 2.8 I think is perfectly fine for what we're looking for. Coming off the nose of the Wraith and everything, I should be able to see everything just fine. So looking forward to that. So again, yeah, double the price, and you know, a little bit more complex piece of equipment, but just as light, just as small as the other camera. But again, OSD, you know, what's the point of having an OSD if you can't read the text, particularly in the down video? So if something ever happened and I need to try and recover the plane, I can. Right now you're looking at a video coming off the little 1/4-inch CMOS video camera, coupled with the Skyzone Mini 5.8 transmitter. I'll put a link at the bottom of the description, but look at that thing. 200 milliwatts, 32 channels, completely compatible with my FatShark goggles. And in comparison to the $60 250 milliwatt transmitter, look at the size difference. Now this does have an onboard power conversion to dump down to the 5 volt for the Pilot HD camera, But wow! And hey, I'm using this thing on my 250 quad. I'm going to run this thing into all kinds of objects, so why would I want to risk my better equipment? This is perfect. It's going to go on top of the little FPV mini craft, and hey, built a little chassis up already to go on my T28. Gotta try that out soon. Power comes off a little balance port adapter, 2S, 3S. Powers the camera, powers the transmitter, no filter, nothing. Lightweight, simple. I can't wait to test this stuff this weekend at the field. Speaking of which, I hope to see you there. Have fun flying. Thanks.